Good day, champions. Today I want to share a powerful message: move in silence and let success speak for itself. In a world where everyone is rushing, there is something incredibly powerful about working in silence. In today's world, where people feel the need to share every little detail of their journey, keeping your head down and focusing on your goals can set you apart. The loudest person in the room is not always the most successful. It is often the one who stays quiet, observes, learns, and executes relentlessly. Success doesn't come from talking about what you're going to do, it comes from actually doing it. When you work in silence, you eliminate distractions, you stop seeking validation from others, and start believing in your own ability to achieve greatness. You don't waste time explaining your plans to people who may not even believe in you. Instead, you direct all your energy into action. Because in the end, actions will always speak louder than words. When you are quietly building, strategizing, and growing, no one can interfere with your progress. They can't steal your ideas, they can't discourage you, and they can't sabotage what they don't see coming. Silence is strength. It gives you an advantage because no one knows your next move. When you don't announce your plans, people can't set expectations, and that means you don't have to deal with unnecessary pressure or doubts. You move at your own pace, shaping your journey the way you want. And when the time is right, your success will speak for itself. It will be undeniable, and by then no one's opinion will matter. The truth is, people often talk about their dreams more than they actually work on them. It's easy to say, I'm going to do this, or one day I'll achieve that. But how many people actually put in the effort behind closed doors? Real growth happens in silence, when no one is watching, when no one is clapping for you, when no one even knows what you're up to. That is where champions are made, in those lonely nights of hard work, in the discipline of showing up every single day, even when no one is cheering. So let go of the need to be seen or heard all the time. Let go of the urge to prove yourself to people who may not even matter in the long run. Your dreams are not for public debate, they are for you to bring to life. Work in silence, move with purpose, and allow your success to be your voice. Because when you finally arrive, when you finally achieve what you set out to do, the world will have no choice but to take notice. And by then, you won't even have to say a word, your success will do all the talking for you. There's something incredibly powerful about letting your actions do the talking. In a world full of noise, where people rush to announce their plans, seek approval, and prove themselves, true strength lies in execution. Words are easy. Anyone can say they're going to do something great, but very few actually put in the effort to make it happen. And that's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You don't have to constantly explain yourself, justify your ambitions, or seek validation for your journey. The truth is, people will believe results, not promises. Instead of wasting energy on proving yourself to others, channel it into your work. Focus on being excellent at what you do, and success will naturally demand attention. The moment you start delivering, people will see it for themselves, no words necessary. The most inspiring people are not the ones who talk about what they're going to do, but the ones who quietly build something extraordinary. They don't chase applause or wait for approval. They commit to the process, put in the work, and trust that their achievements will be undeniable. And when the results start showing, the same people who once questioned them will have no choice but to recognize their success. The reality is, not everyone will support you in the beginning. Some will doubt you. Some will criticize you. Some won't even acknowledge your efforts, and that's okay. Because when you rise, when you succeed, when you prove through action rather than words, those same people will have to take notice. And by then, you won't even need to say, I told you so. Your success will speak louder than anything you could ever say. It's tempting to want to explain your journey to others, to make them understand why you're doing what you're doing. But the truth is, understanding isn't necessary. What's necessary is progress. The people who matter will see your dedication through the work you put in. The rest, their opinions don't define you. So stop waiting for approval. Stop explaining. Stop seeking permission. Just do. The world doesn't need more talkers. It needs more doers. Be the kind of person whose success makes noise without ever needing to announce it. Walk into a room and let your presence be felt because of what you've accomplished, not because of what you've said. Actions will always hold more weight than words. And when you build something real, something undeniable, you won't have to prove yourself. Your work will do that for you. So keep going, keep pushing, keep building. And when the time comes, let your success be the only statement you need to make. Because the loudest voice in the room isn't always the strongest, the one backed by results is. Doubt is a given. Criticism is inevitable. The moment you decide to chase something bigger than yourself, the world will have something to say. People will question your dreams, mock your ambitions, and try to convince you that you're not good enough. And that's exactly why you need to ignore the noise. The opinions of others do not define you. If you listen too closely to what people say, you'll start second-guessing yourself. And once self-doubt creeps in, it slows you down. Suddenly you're not moving with confidence anymore, you're hesitating, holding back, waiting for approval. But here's the truth. The loudest voices in your life should be your own passion, your own belief, your own hunger to succeed. Not the doubts, not the negativity, and definitely not the noise. People will always have something to say, no matter what you do. If you're playing it safe, they'll say you lack ambition. If you're dreaming big, they'll say you're being unrealistic. If you succeed, they'll question how you got there. If you fail, they'll say, I told you so. You can't win by trying to please them. So why even bother? Why waste your energy proving yourself to those who don't understand your journey? Instead, focus on proving yourself to the only person who truly matters, you. Because at the end of the day, the only competition, the only validation, and the only permission you need is your own. The people who doubt you today won't matter when you achieve your goals. The negativity that surrounds you now won't exist when you rise above it. And the critics, they'll be the ones watching in silence when you succeed. The best way to silence the noise is through action. Every single day, wake up and work on your craft. Show up even when no one is watching, when no one believes in you, when no one is cheering for you. Because the moment you let their voices get to you, you give them power over your life. And no one, not a single person should have that power except you. Distractions come in many forms. Sometimes they're negative comments from people who don't want to see you win. Other times they're disguised as praise, making you feel like you've already made it when you're only getting started. Don't fall for either. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay hungry. Success doesn't come from proving people wrong, it comes from proving yourself right. It's not about shutting down your critics. It's about being so consumed with your purpose that their words don't even reach you. So let them doubt, let them talk, let them criticize. It's just noise. And when you finally achieve what you've been working for, your success will be the only thing they hear. Success is not built in a day. It is not the result of a single breakthrough, a lucky moment, or a shortcut. It is the product of consistency, of showing up every single day, doing the work and staying committed, even when no one is watching. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who work hard for a few days and then disappear. They are the ones who keep going, keep pushing, and keep grinding no matter what. The world often glorifies overnight success stories, but what most people don't see is the years of effort behind them. The long nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the failures that almost made them quit, but they didn't. And that's what makes all the difference. Because consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Other days you will doubt everything. That's normal, but discipline is what will keep you moving forward when motivation fades. It's easy to work hard when you feel inspired, but true success comes from the days when you don't feel like doing anything, yet you do it anyway. Because that is what consistency looks like. It is not about doing something once in a while. It is about showing up again and again until your results speak for themselves. The biggest mistake people make is expecting instant results. They start something, put in effort for a short time, and when they don't see immediate success, they quit. But success is not a straight path. It is full of ups and downs, failures and lessons. The key is to keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening, because progress is not always visible. Sometimes the biggest growth happens in silence, in moments when you think nothing is changing. But every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. There will be distractions. There will be moments when you question if it's all worth it. But remember this: every time you stay consistent, every time you refuse to give up, you are moving closer to where you want to be. And one day, everything you've worked for will become undeniable. Not because you talked about it, but because you proved it through action. So commit to the process. Stay consistent even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it feels like nothing is changing, because success does not belong to those who start strong. It belongs to those who refuse to stop. And when the results start showing, when your success becomes impossible to ignore, the world will know exactly how you got there, not because you told them, but because you showed them. In a world where everyone is trying to be seen, trying to impress, trying to prove something, there is one thing that will always stand out: results. Hype fades, words lose their power, but real success, that stays, that commands attention. That speaks for itself. The problem is that too many people get caught up in the illusion of success rather than the reality of it. They want to talk about their dreams more than they want to build them. They want to impress people with their ambition instead of letting their work speak for itself. But here's the truth: talking about success doesn't bring it closer. Only effort does. Only dedication does. Only real, consistent action turns dreams into reality. It's easy to get distracted by praise and attention. When people start noticing your efforts, it feels good. But the moment you start working for validation instead of results, you lose focus. You start chasing applause instead of excellence. And the problem with that? Applause doesn't last. People move on, the hype fades, and if there's nothing real behind the noise, you're left with nothing. That's why the focus should always be on results, not recognition. The world doesn't need to hear what you're planning. It needs to see what you're building. It needs to witness what you've created, what you've achieved, not what you promised, not what you intended, but what you actually did. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what lasts. Success isn't about how many people are watching. It's about how much effort you're putting in when no one is looking. It's about how disciplined you are when there's no reward yet, no validation, no one clapping for you. Because that is where true greatness is built, in the moments no one sees, in the work that goes unnoticed, in the quiet sacrifices that eventually lead to undeniable success. So don't get caught up in hype. Don't waste your time trying to impress people with words. Let your work be your voice. Let your success be your proof. And when the results start to show, when your work starts speaking louder than anything you could say, you won't have to convince anyone of your worth. They'll see it, they'll know it. And by then, it won't even matter what they think, because you will have already made it. Work for results, not recognition. Because hype comes and goes, but real success, that stays. That's what makes a lasting impact. That's what truly speaks. Success is not about talking, it's about doing. It's not about explaining yourself, justifying your ambitions, or seeking approval from people who may never understand your vision. The world is full of talkers, people who say they're going to do something great but never follow through. But the ones who actually make an impact, they are the ones who prove themselves through action, through consistency, through undeniable results. You don't have to tell people how hard you're working. You don't have to convince anyone that you deserve success. Just do the work, show up every day, stay disciplined. Because when you put in the effort, when you dedicate yourself fully to your goals, your results will speak louder than anything you could ever say. And that is the most powerful statement you can make. People will doubt you. They will question your journey. They may even try to discourage you, but the best way to respond to doubt is through success. Not by arguing, not by explaining, not by proving yourself with words. Just keep working.